Hey there, welcome to the second week of the training program. I'm so happy that you're here. Thank you so much for joining me. Alright, so last week we talked about building the foundation for success, and the first step of that is truly believing that you can succeed and giving yourself permission to actually aim for the higher goals that are what you really want. Alright, so today I promised that we would be talking about a real world, honest to God, you can go out and do this today method of earning money as an artist. And I am definitely going to do that, so we're going to get that started in just a minute because I know you're super excited to hear about it. But first, I want to tell you a few things. The dates for the course have been announced if you haven't heard about that yet. Registration is going to be open from March 24th to April 4th. So if you are interested in this course, definitely consider signing up for the mailing list so that you don't miss out on your chance. There are only going to be 100 seats. Also, I initially said that I wasn't going to offer scholarships, but I've been able to shift a couple of things in my schedule so that I will be able to offer 2 scholarship positions this time. So again, I'm going to release the details about that over the next week or two. So if you are interested in this and the money just isn't there, then absolutely sign up for the mailing list. Make sure you get your chance to apply for that scholarship because I really want everyone who can benefit from this course to have a chance to take it. Alright, so that's enough about me. Let's get into what you're here for, and that is something that can help you. So today we are talking about passive income. Now you may have never even heard of that term before. You may have heard it, not really know what it is. Passive income is income you earn even when you are not actively making money. So basically, passive income is, think about the difference between concerts and CD sales, alright? If a musician wants to make money and his main way of making money is through concerts, then every time that musician needs more money, gotta put on another concert. You know, need money, another concert. Whereas with CD sales, the musician can record that just once and then can sell millions and millions of copies over the next few decades. You know, that income can come in even when the musician isn't actively doing anything, even when he hasn't actually performed publicly for years, he can still be earning money on that CD. Now, you may be thinking, well, Zach, of course musicians have passive income. Everybody knows that. I'm a painter. What does that have to do with me? Passive income, first of all, it's something that anyone can benefit from, especially nowadays with the internet. There are so many different ways that you can set up streams of passive income, things like ebooks, online courses, all this other stuff that you can do. And passive income, it is super important because passive income is the difference between the rich and the poor. And it's not the only one, but it is one of the biggest factors. One of the biggest reasons that the wealthy people are able to make as much as they can is because they set up streams of passive income so that even when they're not actively working, they're still earning money. I mean, there's some people I've seen talk about how they make freaking $2,000 an hour just for breathing. I mean, that's pretty crazy. So yeah, passive income, it is important to absolutely everyone. It is, and it is especially important if you are a freelance artist. Passive income is going to allow you to actually live the life that you dreamed of the day that you became a freelance artist. Passive income, it lets you focus more on you. So I recently saw this absolutely gorgeous piece of work by an artist, and she talked about how it took her 500 hours to create it. So that's months and months of full-time work dedicated into this one piece. And if her only business model is, you know, make a painting, get paid, then she would have to sell that single piece for tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars just to earn back the money that she put into it. And of course, it's really hard to find sellers who are willing to pay that much money for a single artwork, and it means very unstable income if she's going to spend months working on a piece and then she's going to have to try and get someone to buy it. Whereas if she's got streams of passive income, if she's able to do things like sell prints, sell calendars, sell greeting cards, there's so many different ways that you can earn passive income, and she could honestly make like even millions of dollars off of that one piece, far more than she could ever earn just by selling it. So when you have passive income as an artist, that's what it does. It opens up your time, it makes your income more consistent, which is something that I know is a big sticking point. And it gives you more time to do what you love, because let's be honest, artists, we do not always want to sell our originals. And one huge problem that freelance artists can run into is that they have this passion project that they desperately want to work on, but it's not bringing in money right now, so they have to put it aside and they have to go and do work for other people, or they have to work on something that they can sell soon because, they've got rent to pay. And that can really drain your motivation as an artist because you pursued this career specifically so that you could earn that money, so that you could do what you love. You didn't do it just so you could paint things for other people. You did it so that you could work on what makes you passionate, what makes you inspired. And sometimes we just want to spend hours and hours and hours working on a piece that we plan to hang in our own living room. And passive income is really what gives you the freedom to do that kind of thing. That's why it is so, so important. Alright, so before we go up any farther, before I actually give you advice on how you can set up passive income today, I really want to make sure that you understand what passive income isn't, because this is something that can really trip people up. Passive income, of course, it sounds like, you write a book, you put it online, and then the money just rolls in, you just do one thing and suddenly, oh yeah, passive, don't have to do anything else, money just comes to you. Unfortunately, that's not the way it works. If you want to establish streams of passive income, it is going to take a little bit of effort. It takes a hell of a lot less effort than when you're just trading time for money, when you have to paint something every single time you want to earn a living. But it does take effort. You have to actually get out there. You have to figure out who is going to want to buy this, how can I reach them, that kind of thing. So think about Harry Potter for a minute. J.K. Rowling did not write Harry Potter and then immediately become a millionaire overnight. She and her publisher, they both put a lot of effort into getting it out there, getting the word out there, getting it into bookstores. They had to, they had to do signing tours, they had to advertise it, they had to get the word out. And it worked, and it just took off in ways that I don't think anyone ever really believed it could. And now it's this huge ball that's just rolling, and J.K. Rowling, if she wanted to, she could just never work a day in her life, and she would probably still be earning millions and millions of dollars in royalties from this amazing work that she created, but she had to do the effort of getting it out there first. You absolutely can learn how to set up streams of passive income where you pretty much know how much you have to put into advertising, where you have to advertise it, and you can just earn money in your sleep, and you can consistently know how much you expect to get off of it. That is absolutely possible, and that is really the goal of passive income, but it does take work before you actually start seeing those results. And tying back into what we talked about last week, this is where if you have that voice in your head saying, see, artists, they can't make a living, there's no money in art, then when you have that voice in your head and you go and you try to set up passive income and it's just not really working at first, with that voice in your head, you're more likely to just give up and walk away, because you sit there thinking, well, of course this isn't working, there's no money in art, I should have known better than to ever think this could work. That's not the case at all, okay? That's why it's so important to believe in your work, to believe in artists in general, because then when you start to set these streams up, if you don't see the results you're looking for, you can sit there and go, okay, I know that this is possible, what am I doing wrong, how do I fix this? Okay, do you see the huge, huge difference that makes? Success, it doesn't always come easily, and a lot of people, they give up right before they actually succeeded. Just yesterday I read this true story about a man who he struck gold, and he thought that like he'd, you know, just struck it completely rich, and he was digging and digging and digging, and they couldn't figure out where the gold was. So he ran out of the money to dig, so he gave up, called it a day. Someone else came in and hired an expert, and it turned out that the guy was 3 feet away from striking rich. Okay, just imagine that. Imagine that every time you give up, you are just 3 feet away from striking it rich, from finding that success, from making it happen, because you never know. Alright, success almost never happens the very first time you try, which is why it's really important to truly believe that what you're doing is possible so that you have the motivation to keep going. Alright, so it is 100%, 100,000% possible for you to set up passive income, for you to make money literally while you sleep, for you to have this income stream that funds the life you want, that gives you the room and the money to work on projects that inspire you, that may not even ever say a dime, but that's so important to you and your heart. All right, and passive income is a huge, huge game changer for literally everyone, but especially for artists. Alright, so I know that some of you may still be sitting there thinking that maybe this passive income thing, it works for other people, but it's not for me, it's not something I'm interested in. So I'm going to try one more time to convince you that this is really a good idea, especially for artists. Okay, I have seen way too many artists who they injure themselves, they get sick. I've seen about half a dozen different artists who literally, they break their hand or their wrist, and they keep drawing, not because it's the fire of their soul, but because if they don't, they can't pay rent, they will end up homeless. And that is horrible, okay? Freelance artists, you don't get paid for days off, you don't get sick leave, and if you are just barely scraping by, living hand to mouth, then anytime that you get injured, anytime that you get sick, if you don't keep pushing yourself to work, then you're gonna fail, and that's horrible. So when you have these passive income streams, even if you have a couple that aren't making money anymore, you can pull it out of your pocket and you can put a little bit of money into advertising them and know that you're gonna have some money coming back into you. So that way you can take the time off you need to truly heal. You don't have to just suffer for your art. Okay, so that is my last plea to try and make sure that everyone understands why passive income is so amazing and so important, and why it is for absolutely, literally everyone should figure out a way to earn passive income. I'm not even joking on that. Alright, so I've got you sold on this passive income idea. You know that it's a great idea for artists, it's something you can do, but you're probably sitting there going, okay, Zach, I still don't know how the heck I'm supposed to be doing this. Or you may even be sitting there and thinking, hey, Zach, of course that works for, photographers and artists, they can just sell prints, but I make soap, I knit, what am I supposed to do? If you are a crafter, honestly, passive income is so important for you as well. Like, I get some people who ask me, how can I make money from knitting? And honestly, my answer is either you gotta find the super upscale people who can pay like $500 for a sweater, because honestly, that is what a hand knit sweater is worth. It is worth at least $500 when you consider the amount of time that goes into it. Or you gotta figure out these passive income streams. And one great way to do that is to start creating your own patterns, to publish books. Those are two really good options. You can also, if you've got a decent camera, you can publish like how-to videos and bundle them up and sell those. Because, you know what, people don't always understand how books are. I know how to knit myself, and when I was first trying using books, I didn't know what the heck they were talking about. Like, I kind of understood, and then when I found the videos, I saw someone actually doing it, and I went, oh, that's how you do it. So yeah, seriously, videos are obviously a great way of doing it. There are absolutely methods. So one thing that you really got to ask yourself when you're getting started with the passive income thing is how much work do you want to put into it versus how much of the profits you want to get. There are a lot of different sites you can use, things like Cafe Press and Redbubble, where you upload a file with your design and they print it out, they sell it. You pretty much don't do anything, but of course you don't get the full profits. Meanwhile, if you've already got things, like if you've already got a good quality printer for printing out prints, or if you're willing to invest in one, or if you've got like button maker or a way of printing onto t-shirts, you could of course do it in your home. Then you get all of the income straight in your pocket, but you have to, it is more work. You're going to have to put in the effort to mail it off, to actually create it and all of that. So that is one thing you kind of have to think about to get started. Then you have to decide where you're going to sell it. And if you are absolutely brand new, no one even knows your name, it's not a bad idea to start out on sites like Etsy, where it's this huge marketplace where people go specifically looking for that kind of good, rather than if you just try to sell on your own website and you literally are completely new, no following, nothing, you're going to have a much harder time getting people into you. But of course, again, with Etsy, there's a commission, a percentage of the sale goes to Etsy. So that's one thing where you kind of have to ask yourself, what is my goal right now? If you're you make a greater profit if you're willing to put in more effort up front, but of course then you've got to put more effort in up front. Whereas there are a couple of sites where like you can take things that you already have, and today you can put up and have a store of a bunch of different products that you can go to your friends, go to your family, go to any fans you have, and just say, hey, I'm selling stuff, buy it. And I'm actually going to go more in depth on this in Wednesday's blog post. So if this is something that you're interested in and struggling, then first of all, of course, I am offering the Prospering Artists course, where we are really going to go in depth on this, and you'll be able to get actually ask me for advice in the group. And also the blog post on Wednesday, I'm going to go a lot more in depth on this. I'm going to give you specific sites that you can get started literally today, well, Wednesday, and also going to be sharing about half a dozen different articles from artists in a large range of medias and backgrounds, showing what they do, how it works for them, what kind of results they get. Alright, so thank you so much for joining me for this. As I said, passive income is this hugely important for everyone in general, but especially artists. So I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and learn something that honestly it is going to absolutely change your life if you're willing to take the steps to make this a reality. So once again, we have a worksheet at the bottom if you want. It's really designed to help jumpstart your brain. Actually think about how you're going to make this happen, how you're going to take steps, because of course just watching this video, it's not going to do anything for you if you don't take action. And also, again, sign up for the mailing list, so that way you'll be able to get next week's video, you'll also be able to get the blog post, and you'll be the first one to hear about the scholarship and also about registration when it opens, okay? So thank you so much for joining me today, and I look forward to seeing you again next week.